It isn't really a roll call vote. But it's like, got a call for it.
Except for the big one.
Thank you. May I please pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States?
Follow.
Beverly is a long family member of Bethany Baptist Church. And I would like to bring her up this time for our relocation. Was my pastor at Bethany Baptist Church, and he would tell us that we sure. Right? Dear Father, we call upon this commission meeting today. We are your servants to be used by you. Dear God, thank you for hearing this prayer and bless each member of this body as they come together for the good of one. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. All of that. Fireman King, really active King, thank correction and approval of the general. I step up the item. Or the 40th of the discussion on the recorrection approval of the general. Everyone. And motion clear. Thank you. Next item, report from the chair. I'll say my remarks at the end of the meeting. Next item, unfinished business, there is none. We're moving to page 2 of the agenda, offering of opposition, board resolutions and presentation. There are none listed. We will move to reports from committees. Report A is from the special committee on the criminal justice complex. There's one item listed. Ms. Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. All the, this item is a, just a receiving file. Recommend approval.
We can move to the file. I don't have my screen up here, so I don't have the report. Move to receive and file the report on the criminal justice complex. The receiving file item is June 6th. Any discussion on this item? Very much, please vote. Okay, thank you so much. Next item. We are on report B from the committee of the whole. There's one item listed. And the item listed is approval of the budget. However, first we need to open up a public hearing to choose the budget fix public hearing. If there moves to open up a public hearing. It's been moved by Vice Chair, somebody else supported by Commissioner Baker. Forming the all in favor, aye. The public hearing is now open. Is there anyone here who wishes to discuss the 23-24 budget? Anyone in the chambers?
It's 22 billion.
Anyone on Zoom? Anyone? Discussion on the budget. Question on. Hearing none, I'd like to get a motion to close the public hearing. Or it's been supported by Commissioner Phillips, supported by Vice Chair Palmer, to close the public hearing on the budget. All in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. Now we will go to recommend approval of recommended comprehensive executive budget and appropriation ordinance for fiscal year 23-24. I would like to. I'd like to thank Chair Adam and his team for working tirelessly to make sure that we had a budget or coordinating all of the budget hearings. This was, the first budget that Terrence had as the fiscal advisor. So certainly no stranger to budget, he's done that for several years and he was prior to being a fiscal advisor. So thank you and your team, Terrence, for all the work and hard work that you did. All of our, attorneys, the information necessary to deliberate accordingly and to assist us with our off-site meetings. I think this budget year, as I stated, for me, the whole, we received the budget a little late, most of us see that, but we were able to still get it and, we the due diligence that we need to do to make sure that we had a fiscally sound budget for the 23-24 years. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Chair of Rules and Meetings, Commissioner Turnbull.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just like to start off by saying that this is the most important role, as far as I believe, for the commission. And that is the adoption of this budget. I want to thank John Wallace, the CFO, Robert Whittigan, the Deputy CFO, but more so, I want to thank the CEO, Warren Evans, and the Deputy CEO, Assad Turkey, for working in cooperation with this commission in developing what is, as I stated earlier, a very important role in making sure that our voices was heard in the crafting of this budget. To get to the point where we are today, it took a lot of work. Like I mentioned, the CFO, Deputy CFO, but our staff, because we've had a lot of new people in management and budget, our staff had a lot of work to do. There was a lot of back and forth, not only during business hours, but also during the evening. Terrence Adams, Mary Carr, Stacy Browser, Alyssa Rawls, they made themselves available to the various changes all throughout the night. This is my first time sharing this process, but I can tell you a lot of work went into developing this. Also, Pam Lane and Octavia, in this role, I was able to see how much work and how engaged they are in this process. But I cannot not mention the role of an awesome and incredible committee membership. And I want to thank you, Madam Chair, for appointing me, but also these committee members who made themselves available to talk before meetings. You know what I'm saying? Not just wait for meetings to raise concerns. Committee Vice Chair Bagoon, Commissioner Anderson, Clemente, Meraki, Scott, and Baker McCormick. I want to thank them for their readiness and making sure that we were there and ready to do the work of the people's business. And with all of that being stated, Madam Chair, I move that the appropriation ordinance, which authorizes the levy of a total of 7.7778 mils, 2.1692629 mils, to be levied against the total 2023 Wayne County taxable value of all real estate and tangible personal property within Wayne County, and 5.6099 mils against the total 2023 Wayne County taxable value, subject to Article 9, Section 3 of the Michigan Constitution. The total anticipated ad valorem tax levy is projected to be $400.7 million. The adjusted property tax revenue estimate of $407.7 million consists of $381.4 million for the general fund, $12.6 million for the parks fund, $4.8 million for the youth services fund, and $1.9 million for the soldiers and sailors relief fund. The adjusted fund property tax estimate, when combined with $380.8 million projected to be received from sources other than general property taxes, results in a total anticipated revenue of $745.2 million for the county general operating fund. Madam Chair, I move adoption of the appropriation ordinance as amended.
Thank you. It's been moved and I'll have an open meeting now. Okay. Moved by Commissioner Fenlock, supported by Commissioner Terry Moretti, and the item from, the whole is is what we're moving, amended with the budget language that everyone has on their page, or it's moved, with the amended language that was read by Chairperson Fenlock. Any discussion on the budget? Any discussion on the budget, Commissioner Clayton?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Attached to this budget today are what we call budget instructions, where the commission requires through the ordinance certain reports to come to us throughout the year. I took the time, Madam Chair, to go through the budget instructions. We have 143 of them by my count, but also by my count, 43 of those never made it to the commission, which is about 1/3 of our budget instructions don't make it here. So I'm hopeful in this budget here, Madam Chair, that we improve that netting average, perhaps considerably. These are things that the commission has requested, and so I'd like to see the batting average on that improved. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Secretary. Oh, yes, Madam Chair, just to mention, both the conversations that you, myself, and Terrence and committee had, we intend on this year tracking those budget instructions as we had talked about, and flagging those that have not been sent in. So we had already talked about doing that, and I did mention that to the commissioner who did talk to me earlier. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner.
Thanks, Madam Chair. I just want to mention that this was a great year for looking at this budget, and I want to thank everyone like Jonathan did, but I thought Commissioner Kinlock did an outstanding job as chair of Ways this year. There were a lot of first people. LB, you, Terrence, you did a great job, and it ran very smoothly, and it was very nice to be noticed and given things that people thought would be good for the county. So I'm very happy, and congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further discussion on the budget? Further discussion on the budget. And Commissioner, I did mention the awesome committee members that serve on Ways and Means. We know that in the state legislature, they take the summers off. They don't have to report to Lansing, they don't report to Lansing in the summer. However, the Wayne County Commission, we do our most important work during the summer month. Again, thank all the members for all of the meetings that you had here, the Garden Building and off site, to make sure that in the month of July and August, other members of other governments are not full work. We're doing full work during the summer. So again, thank all the committee members and those commissioners who are able to come to the meeting as well to get information, to learn, ask questions, and make sure that their issues were addressed during the budget process. It takes all of us working together with the administration to make sure that we are delivering a budget that is good for the people of Wayne County. So thank you to Darcel, Eddie, the entire job, the entire management, but it's the full team. As Commissioner recommended, working well together. In light of having a lot of first-time people on the budget, the wonderful that we were able to get it and get it done and in time. Last call for discussion on the committee of the whole report, which is the budget for 2023.
One more point, Madam Chair.
Commissioner.
How could I get the on again, off again budget instructions? Thank you, Felicia, for working with the committee on that, as well as Eddie and Dr. Brown. Definitely, late night calls, and then facilitating, making sure things move smoothly. Thank you.
Thank you. It does take everyone working together and lots of to make this happen. So thank you all for that. One last stop discussion, hearing none, to vote. Motion carries. Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is the meeting.
Commissioner, Nicole, you have, thank you, yes,
the meetings of commissioners. And also Commissioner Dalton's meeting, were postponed. I have in mind, 11:30, Public Safety Committee to 9:30.
9:30 on tomorrow.
9:30 on Monday.
Commissioner Down?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Gov will be moved to 10:30 a.m.
All members, please note of Commissioner Down.
Madam Chair, also note that tonight is the Wayne County Commission Youth Council first meeting at 6 p.m. tonight.
Thank you. Next item, please.
We're moving to new business. There are 9 items listed on pages 2 and 5 of the agenda. Item number 1. From the Wayne County Clerk at year specification approval of one of the 3 Democratic nominees to the Wayne County Board of Candidates.
Okay, based on state law, we are to make these appointments 10 days after, our September 19th meeting, which would be that day. So we have 2 recommendations. Item number 1 is the Democratic nominees for the Board of Canvassers, and item number 2 is the Republican nominees for the Board of Canvassers. So I'll take number 1 first. Commissioner Kinlock?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I move to appoint Aaron Yvonne Hall Key to the position of Democratic member on the Wayne County Board of Canvassers for a term to commence November 1st, 2023 through October 31st, 2027.
It's been moved and supported. In our package, we do have information on each of the 3 candidates that were given to us by the 4th, 13th, and 15th congressional districts. Edwin Green and Catherine Becky, but the recommendation or the side. So the Commissioner Kinlock has recommended Aaron Keith for the position of the 3 names that were given to us. Any discussion?
Thank you, Madam Chair. On this item and the next one, I searched through my agenda and I didn't see any information on any of these folks. There were no resumes for either item 1 or item 2. The folks have been around government a long time, always known the importance of board canvassers and what their job is. I think the rest of the nation found that out about 5 years ago. So this is a very important duty that we have in filling these positions. And for the public, not really, no resumes or anything, to not really know, who these folks are, we could be part of what we do here. So it concerns me a lot that I don't have information on these folks to vote on. Somebody going on with cancer, so I'm going to be voting no on items 1 and 2 today. Thank you.
Thank you. And for the record, for those listening and those in the audience, we do have information that was in our package on these individuals. They sit in letter of interest. It was outlined with that. So we do have information that was in the package.
What package? I got 2. I didn't get any information in either one.
These packages were distributed to those commissioners, and within those packages is the information that we received from the Wayne County Clerk at the year. And that information included letters of interest where each individual candidate listed some information about themselves, their background, family convictions, and information of that.
And that's the information that was required for me to make that information, as well as the chair of the respective Congressional district equals that information as well. So that information is well provided to the commission. Any further discussion on item number one? Hearing none, so we vote. And this is for the recommendation for Aaron Yvonne Marquis to be the Wayne County Board of Canvassers, one of the canvassers, and I vote yes. Mr. Anderson. Next item. Behaviors.
Item number two. Is the consideration approval of one of three Republican nominees to the Wayne County Board of Canvassers.
Again, three names were identified and the 12, 13, and 6 districts did submit the name of the current member of the Board of Canvassers, and that's Captain Riley, Commissioner. Correct.
Okay, Chair, I would like to report the name of Catherine Riley to be incumbent right now, and report the name to serve as the Republican member of the Wayne County Board of Canvassers.
Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Vice Chair President Bateman. Any discussion on number two? Hearing none, please vote. Thank you. Next item, please.
Commission approval of the minute funds with a 12-month cooperative agreement between the Charter County Wayne and Ford for America with no change in the dollar amount. My deal is extending the term of the agreement.
And who is here to speak to this? Let me, before Ashley comes to the podium. This meeting today was going to just be on the budget, however, there were some certain matters that there were time constraints, so I can go on today's agenda in addition to the budget, so. You can just by yourself, name and title for the record, please.
John Wallace, CFO, Wayne County. Mark Jason, 43 Project Director.
Aaron Wagner, Chief Administrative Officer.
Okay, who's to speak to this, item?
Through the chair, this is literally a contract to align the expiration of the contract county with the terms of the ordering document from Oracle. Essentially, this is a managed services product which doesn't happen until after the go live of the implementation. And so because we haven't gone live, we're ensuring that the time that we have on the contract with the county aligns with the ordering document for Oracle.
There's no change in the dollar amount, it's just, change the term.
The time, yeah.
Anything additional you'd like to say? This is for item 3 and 4. Any additional, discussion like that on the PC? From September 15, 2022 to September 30, 2024, so this is the final line of 2024.
Correct.
Is there a motion on 3 and 4? Moved by Commissioner Anderson, is there support? Supported by Vice Chair President Bateman. Discussion for items 3 and 4, again, this is no change the dollar amount, but it does, change the timeline. Any discussion on these items? That was from the 3 and 4. And then number 5.
Item number 5 is the presentation approval of amendment number 2 to a cooperative agreement between the Charter County Wayne and Ford for America, not to exceed $11,442,200. Revised bill modifying the scope of pay.
Please.
Yeah, so this contract is 3 components. The major component is to enlist Oracle Construction to provide project management services for the entire scope of the Connect 43 project, which would be the human capital management / HR payroll the enterprise performance management, you may hear EPM, which is budgetary planning, and ERP, which is the financials. Also included in that is the implementation of autonomous data warehouse, as well as local government.
And this is for, number 5, $11 million, again, through December 31st, 2024. So then, the question for you, do you anticipate us being done by December 31st, 2024 in live?
So I would say that we're reevaluating the timeline. My thought at this time would be unlikely, based on the fact that HCM, as it stands right now, the HR payroll, we're experiencing delays in the conversion validation process, so we're evaluating the rescheduling of the go live at HCM. And as a result, that's a cascading effect that we have to evaluate on the other components that are either in place or budgetary control and budgetary planning just kicked off in August. ERP was slated to kick off in October. And so because we have to essentially align resources to ensure that you don't have too much overlap in terms of stressing resources, we're evaluating the entire timeline as a standpoint.
So you anticipate coming back to us with either an extended timeline or possibly more funds?
Correct. On both.
Discussion, Commissioner Sala?
As you're testing various phases, I mentioned in the past for us, the commission to be given the results of those tests. So we can begin to see how this process is working ourselves. I know there's a committee that's meeting, but I think it's important for us to evaluate and see the results from these various tests and various components. So I definitely want to see that, because this is, as I mentioned to you all, this for me, 2024 is going to be something that I'm really watching very closely. I've already mentioned my concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Other questions? Right, item number 5, we. Item number 5, their motion. We got a motion to read. The motion moved by Commissioner Sunlight, seconded by Commissioner Hayes. Question on this item. Please vote.
Item number 6, requesting commission approval of amendment number 1 to a 12-month Walker's agreement between the Charter County of Wayne and Global America. No change in the dollar amount. We might deal extending the term of the agreement by 1 year for Oracle Cloud infrastructure.
Moved by Commissioner Sunlight, supported by Commissioner Hayes, any discussion on this item? I suspect is what you said. Hearing no discussion, please vote.
Requesting commission approval of amendment number 1 to a 12-month Walker's agreement between the Charter County of Wayne and Oracle America with no change in the dollar amount. We might deal changing the term of the agreement.
Now, this one goes to June of 24. Why not, the other one was September and then with December, so why June for this one?
So this one, and we may need to come back to the earlier point about potential scheduling change. This one is based on the timeline as we currently expect it to be, which is subject to change. If we need to add additional time, we'll come back in with the second amendment to add additional time.
Would it make sense, to come, when you come back, not just, but when you come back, to have all of the dates aligned, similarly, that they're all December 31 or January 25, whatever it may be, so we're not scattered.
Through the chair, committee council and I talked about this particular agreement to see if there's a way for us to move forward to the next iteration bringing either a package or to try and align the face. So you have my commitment that I'll work with commission council to make sure that we get something that's a bit easier and more friendly.
These days are all over the place, like with, have challenges with us and for you all as you go through the implementation stage. Any discussion on item 7? It's been moved and supported, please vote. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, please. Thank you.
Item presentation approval of work active amendment number 2 to a 1-year comparable work professional services contract. They want your options to be needed to ensure county planning and local consulting not to exceed $100,000. Exercising the option to committee. Provide in-home compensation services.
Thank you for name it.
This is time for Corporation Council. And as you just heard, this is a contract with SEN, our current consulting services with our parking lot consultant for the Criminal Justice Center. Walker Consultants provides consulting services related to our on-site parking lot in terms of traffic flow or interface in Detroit. Just trying to make our parking as secure and safe as possible while simultaneously as accessible as possible for the county employees and the public. We're asking for 1-year extension and contract and additional funds for additional consulting services.
Did they provide you all with a report on their findings, written report?
Written report on their findings in terms of parking need.
Well, everything that you just mentioned, what they're doing with the cherries and.
Sure. So we actually have plenty of written data from Walker that we can absolutely share. But we've had studies on sort of our parking needs in terms of both employee needs, when employees will be there. We've had parking need analysis for public access to the site, all kinds of traffic studies, and but in addition to that, off-site lots so that they are as accessible and safe as possible. So we can actually share. We have plenty of written documentation of their work.
Commissioner Anderson, are you receiving that information?
But I know Carter had mentioned before that you're going to have to spend some additional dollars on parking for offsite. So it's, I think it's needed because Carter, I don't know if you, for the chair, can tell us how many additional parking spaces this would be at this lot when it's finished.
Well, I should say, we're probably waiting the next 2 contracts. So this one is our consulting contract. The next one with Keo Construction is 295 additional spaces directly across the street from the CAC. But I can certainly provide these the CAC subcommittee the reports that we received from Walker and maybe a summary of what they're doing for us would also be helpful. So there's a lot to take in, but we can actually be ready for next week. Thanks, Ed.
Thank you. Any additional questions on number 8? Their motion? Moved by Commissioner Davis, supported by Commissioner Gill. Any discussion on number 8? Please vote. Motion carried. Next item.
Item number 9 is a presentation approval of the 2-year construction contract between Charlestown Way and Keel and Associates not to exceed $1,302,789 to construct the right of remote parking lot at 5300 Russell Street in Detroit.
Yeah, you heard Mr. Daniel, Franchise Corporation Council.
Yeah, you great Curtis, Director of Facilities Management and Planning.
So I just gave a small preview of what this contract is about. This is a contract to build a parking lot directly across the street from the CAC. It'll have an additional 295 spaces, and we're trying to get this done as much as possible in this construction season. So that's the reason for our urgency.
Are there any questions on this item? Questions on this item? 295 spaces, hopefully to be completed in this construction season. And I look forward to getting the report, as to how many total spots will need and where they'll be located and the future, needs of parking at the C50. Any additional questions on this item? Please vote. Thank you. Thank you. Next item.
Testimony over the issues and activities of the communication, there are three things listed.
We had, the Calvin Western Lane, 45th anniversary of one for event, I know Commissioner Record really enjoyed it. Nice, with that, and the speaker, in the platform, and 430 people, that is, very well attended. A motion for this item, Commissioner supported by Commissioner Bailey, any discussion, that's our solutions and systems. Is agenda. We're going to the agenda. So in an effort to work cooperatively with the administration, there was some miscommunication and the meeting today, the government operations, there were two items that come on today's report, based on the major of possibly the I'm sorry, couple 30. Approximately that rank. So I will turn it over to Commissioner Director.
Thank you. Commissioner, sorry about that. I'd like to move, items 1 and 2. Approval.
Support.
And supported, and it's the someone here from EPS may come and explain these items and the urgency of them. Oh, Mr. President, I'm sorry, too long. Mr. Kennedy.
Hello, Madam Chair. Commissioners. These are two agreements. They're the last things that need to be put in place before we can begin. And I shouldn't say we have. The Rotunda and Miller Road Bridges projects that you probably all have heard about. Very least from Commissioner Bailey, if not from the media and from very concerned residents and business interests in Dearborn. The bridge is done, the project has been planned, and funding has been sought for that in many different ways over quite a few years now. We're finally at the point, MDOT is maybe up to $80 million for this project, and it is ready to go to bid. It should be bid out, the 11 should be October 6th, I believe. Through MDOT. MDOT is overtaking all the oversight of this project. These two agreements are with the railroad interests that run underneath this bridge, and the agreements do a few things, but generally just lay out what the responsibilities of MDOT are going to be, as opposed to the private railroads that are listed here, as well as Florida Motor Company that has a railroad agreement. So I thank you very much, and I thank your staffs and commission staff for helping us put this on. It really is crucial that we get heard today. So thank you very much, Commissioner Markey, hearing us at COPS this morning and putting it on the agenda today. It really is crucial to have this passed so that we do not jeopardize this money. We're finally at that finish line. It's funny to think that a multi-year project, and I'm talking about the finish line, but really from our purposes and everything that you've been working on as a commission and the department's been working on, is to get it to this point, at which point we can give it to MDOT, and then they'll have some construction companies and construction engineers that will do the rest of it and get us some beautiful structures that will last us many, many decades.
Thank you. And again, these are not fund contracts, these are intergovernmental agreements between my time and one for today. So Thank you, Superintendent Reader, thank you, Commissioner Reckons, for giving this to us, and so that we can complete our work as a county and not be able to end that. Especially Commissioner Ashton.
Yes, Walter Ruther would have thanked us for fixing the Miller Road Bridge. All of that.
Thank you. So, Vice Chair Coach,
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Andy, for all your hard work on the Miller Bridge. And thank you for the consideration of making the bridge back to bridge of banner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further discussion on those two items?
Yeah.
And next time we visit, we'll be having, I guess, dedication ceremony. The next time it comes before, correct? Other representatives?
Okay, that's the goal.
Okay, thank you, sir. Moved again by Becky, supported by Commissioner Young. We vote. Motion carries. All right, next item. Currently back from page 6 of the agenda, there are warnings, there's one name with it. Any additional names to add to the warning? Vice Chair,
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to add the name of Hassan Salami, who was 29 years old. He was murdered last week on Tuesday evening after he finished having dinner with his wife. I would say year one, in an attempt that failed the carjacking in Hungary. 29 years old. This crime, this murder, has shaken the Arab-American community to its core. Was buried in Lebanon 2 days ago, and he leaves behind many family members. And sincere ghosts to his family. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. And have our prayers as well to inspire community. Commissioner Clinton. Thank you, Madam Chair. Unfortunately, we have to talk about this over and over again. The young gentleman from Ecorse was also taken by gun violence. His name is Sanel Trump Jr., also known as Matty. I don't have a personal relationship with him, but what has been reported about this young man is that he was a bright star in the community and that he was going to go far. His life was taken, which is just terrible and devastating. I was with some youth yesterday from Ecorse, and they are suffering, the community is suffering. And I just took over in this community. I'm getting to know everyone, but I'd like to pass over to Commissioner Comer just to speak a little bit more.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Commissioner Clemente. I knew Nellie Kemp. I watched that young man play sports, and he was beyond a star in football, basketball, and baseball. He was an outstanding young man. This game happened to knock my grandson's team out of the state basketball playoffs 2 years in a row. My grandson had utmost respect for everything that Nellie stood for. To say this is a senseless tragedy is a vast understatement. I shouldn't even say this, but I'm going to, because the word on the street is this is a revenge killing to get at the family of Nellie Kemp, because the people that sought revenge knew that it would inflict ultimate pain on their entire family if they took this young kid from us. That is beyond comprehensible. I am so sorry that this has happened to the community, and I can only pray for his family. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Absolutely unacceptable. Thank you for that. Commissioner Franklin.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Commissioner Abram, did they find the perpetrator?
Three people charged.
For the chair, thank you, Madam Chair, they did arrest the three suspects. Three suspects, and the investigation is still ongoing. Sadly, two of those suspects were just released from jail not long. One of them is on probation.
Thank you. And, you know, this goes, as I say, just about every meeting, we pray for the victims of gun violence. So unacceptable, so unnecessary to snatch the life of people like Dale, people like Virginia Dearborn, to, you know, right people committed for senseless crimes. So we will continue to pray for them, especially in all families who are victims of gun violence. So we could please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you all so much for that, and again, my heart goes out to both families and community of both. This was about something that we got to put into. Next item, management. Other comments, is there anyone on Zoom who would like to get 2 minutes on the comments? Anyone on Zoom? Anyone on the telephone? Changes. Email.
The first email is from Anthony Preston. Dear Commissioners, please stand recognize the Biden administration presses to see U.S. sovereignty to the World Health Organization via amendments to the international health regulations and the pandemic preparedness treaty. Do not fund any enforcement efforts of World Health Organization and within the county. Please also stand against HR 3557 and HR 4141 in Congress, which seeks to strip away state and local control and permitting cell tower placement and refuse to fund county level enforcement efforts, even if the bill were to be signed into law. Remember in Federalist 33, Alexander Hamilton wrote that lower level government have the right to treat acts by the federal government that are not pursuant to the Constitution as acts of usurpation. My second email is from Mark. Greetings to the Wayne County Commission and to all of Wayne County. I am Mark Ashton Price, the treasurer of the Highland Park School Board. I am writing to you today to say that my county commissioner, Martin G. Sapp, is the greatest as she has been very representing and representing Highland Park in a positive way, including being the first woman mayor of Highland Park, formerly being in the state legislature and currently as county commissioner. Even though it is my belief that Highland Park has a great county commissioner, I still think Highland Park needs as much help as it could get. On the county level, I humbly ask the county executive and the Wayne County Commission to help Highland Park as much as possible. I have a high respect for the county executive and the county commission. Thank you, and forever bless our beloved Wayne County.
Thank you. Like, Mark, if you got that, it's very nice. You're sure. Like that. Very nice. Oh, here. Oh, here. Oh, stand up, Mr. Treasurer. Thank you for being with us today. Any additional public comment? Hearing none, next item, please.
Reconsideration,
There are none.
remarks by members.
Okay, so I have just a couple, you know, as I repeatedly state, we have a multi-dynamic members on this Wayne County Commission in the entire state of Michigan. And as another example, I would like for us all to recognize Wayne County Commissioner Al Hayes for being voted Volunteer of the Year by Mr. Work. work. I know you work tirelessly for so many organizations and they recognize your great work and Michigan work. So thank you for all that you continue to do for the residents of Wayne County, especially in your district and especially for Michigan work. Congratulations. And then we have a couple of birthdays today as well. Today, we are going to celebrate the 60th birthday of Wayne County Commission Vice Chair, Joey Palmero. Joey, happy birthday today. And before we meet again, the birthday of Carol Clemente will be celebrated on October 2nd, so we'll meet after that. So happy birthday, Carol. And I want to thank everyone for your indulgence, and this is our third meeting in the month of September. But it's important to get that work done, especially before our fiscal year begins on October 3rd. So thank you all for indulging me and us today as we work for the citizens of Wayne County to get the work done. Again, thank you to the American Budget, the entire CEO staff, but special gratitude to our staff who make sure that we get the work done every day of the citizens of Wayne County. Thank you, Alicia, and I tell you about everyone, but all of our groups. Thank you for what you do for us each and every day. Member, Commissioner Clements.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just have to say, as the freshman member of Ways and Means, this budget cycle has really been enlightening. I learned so much from all the departments, and it really gave me a great overview of what's going on. I know I'm from Wilton. I'm sorry about my offsite, but it was really great to take the budget on the road. And I have to thank the committee members and Jonathan and the clerk and Lisa, everyone that helped me along the way in answering my questions and always checking in with me. I also want to say that I think Alliance Committee to be very good with all these contracts because I look at them in September and September is August and September are so busy. So the more information you get quicker, the better. And the other thing that I wanted to say was, I'll come up next time, but thank you very much. Thank you, Commissioner Benson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As far as cleaning up rumors of fact about birthdays, it is not Monique Baker. Make sure that number one. Number two, for those folks that are just, you mentioned that have birthdays, I have to be within this to Commissioner Palmer, Commissioner Mente. I think they did a nice job, but actually, Mente actually had a fallen kid, a student that was at the Southern Wayne Chamber that really wanted to get her autograph and things like that. She was on the podium. So I just want to thank her for being an asset to Wayne County Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Reed?
Thank you, Madam Chair, for your kind work, and I hope I could make it up to the expectation. Sometimes I said about who have accepted that award on behalf of many people who I work with. My colleague on the commission, we all do things, supporting each other. That would make us great team. On behalf of my family to be give me support, especially my wife. Probably without her support, I wouldn't be sitting here today. So it was a great honor to accept that on behalf of all those who contribute in some way to my ability to do what I've been doing in life. Second thing, I was honored to see Mr. Commissioner Conrad move Commissioner Baker birthday to the same day as I am. I'm not alone, and there was it was a great thing. I took it seriously first, and I thought, you can laugh this remark, and I sent her back, happy birthday. So now I will send her one and really, so she had two of them. And so, and it's what's made us not only body of commissioner, sometimes we gain more than that by being here to be like family. And I'm honored to be part of this family. Thank you for
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, sir. Commissioner, I'm sorry, Department of State, Commissioner,
I think that, you can talk it off to, Commissioner Hillard having another birthday. I think moving up the flag.
Birthdays, you get that. We're gonna put it out to Commissioner, Martha G.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Congratulations, to the new chair of the Ways and Means. Did a great job. It was a great committee. It's the budget always deserves on Ways and Means. First time when I was in the legislature and to be here serving on it for the last 12 years is great. And I want to thank my school board member, for his wonderful remarks, and thank you so much. Thank you for even being here. And the birthdays. It was so confusing.
We gave everybody
Just sir. Thank you so much, man.
Vice Chair Folsom, maybe.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also want to say thank you to Commissioner Kinlaw for your leadership on the Ways and Means. We had a great meeting. You mentioned all the committee members, but we forgot to mention the designated hitter in terms of baseball, which is Commissioner Colleen. Yes, many of our meetings. Yeah. Thank you, Commissioner Colleen.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner.
I really want to, again, Commissioner Carmichael, has done right with hearing. You know, I was thinking that not only was he in the ear of all of the staff and following them, but also I'm quite sure he's Commissioner Kinlaw. And Barton here.
Oh, yeah, right.
Right, so I just wanted to bring her in the room as well, because I know that she, that has been, you know, helping me, mentoring me, and you did a good job, so thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Chair Collier.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for your kind birthday wishes, for your reference to being 16. You're close. If we add the 1 and the 6 to the two numbers that I actually am, they both equal 7, and you can figure it out from there, and I'm glad to be here. But more importantly, with this being the last meeting of this fiscal year, I want to thank the chair for her outstanding leadership of this past year. She makes it look easy to run a good meeting, to run a good ship, an effective commission. It's not that easy. But thank you, and I know this next fiscal year is going to be as good as this past one has been. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Collier, and Vice Chair. Thank you for the comment, but hopefully you don't need to take me off of that. I think you
Thank you, Madam Chair. I too would like to thank the chair of Ways and Means. When you're working with you, and as was mentioned, then to know about you having someone's ear and we were in ready. But anyway, I just want to thank you for the hard work and I know it's the difficulty of trying to balance everyone, giving them opportunity to speak at the hearings, and I appreciate your patience and your ability to know that someone's trying to be recognized. And there was a couple of times that I thought he might have had some of the former commissioners, our former legislators here might remember the name Larry Julian. Larry was the Speaker of the House, or pro tem actually, and he would sometimes not be able to see the Democratic side of the aisle. Yeah, when you were raising your hand to be recognized. But Jonathan, I know you're going to continue to improve on the vision.
Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. One last thing, just a reminder, next week we have our full board meeting on October 5th. After the meeting, we will be doing the unveiling of the portrait for Ed Wakey and Gary Warren. So you recall last year we did Commissioner Blair and Commissioner Blackwell. Now they're up, so now I think we need to do the last two are not up, which is Wakey and Warren. So they will be with us. So we will have that program 12:30 after our full board meeting on next Thursday, and the one will follow the program. So with that, any further remarks on others? Hearing none, is there no to that? Oh, no. Okay. Make a second.
I just want to say happy birthday to my firstborn. His birthday is today. And then my great grandchild is 4 years old today. So they're both very special.
Absolutely. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to those that I didn't say.